Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to step totally and completely out of my comfort zone and play with color. I realized that I hadn't played with my Anastasia Artist Palette in a while, and I had bought this Inglot Pigment a little while back and I never got around to using it. It is in the shade 113 and it is the most gorgeous blue purple reflect pigment. It's absolutely stunning. I also picked up a bunch of these gemstones during Halloween time and I never got around to using them. These ones right here in specific are iridescent, so they reflect a bunch of gorgeous pastel rainbow shades. So I decided to put those on today, and I also did a double wing liner with black and white. This look incorporates a lot of color and it is very detail oriented. I put a lot of colors in specific places, and then the gemstone and then the white liner underneath the black. Every little detail that I put into the look helped to tie it together a little bit more. I didn't have the white eyeliner originally and something was missing, and I was looking through my drawers to see what else that I could add in, and once I drew that white line underneath the black, the look just came together and I am in love with it. I think that this makeup would look totally awesome if you're going to a music festival or some sort of concert. You could wear it every day if that's your thing, but I think that this look would be perfect for some sort of music festival. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys want to see how I created this purple and blue iridescent eyeshadow look, then please keep watching.
Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do is prime my eyelids using Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. I am placing this onto both of my eyelids with a synthetic brush, and then I'm going to be buffing it out with my finger. Once I have that buffed out, I'm going to be using Vanilla Bean by Makeup Geek to set that base to make sure that the shadows we are going to be blending out on top of it don't skip over the sticky base. Next, I'm going to be taking Creme Brulee, also by Makeup Geek, on a Sigma E40 brush, and I'm going to be placing that in my crease and I'm going to start defining it. I'm going to be creating a little bit of a winged out shape with my eyeshadow today. Nothing too dramatic or cut crease crazy. I just want to build up some neutral browns because we are going to go crazy with color on the lids. And once I get to the outer corner of the eye, I am going to flick it up a little bit because I'm going to be using winged liner. So you guys can see I'm going in windshield wiper motions, and then I'm making tiny circles to blend out that color throughout the crease, and then flicking out the end ever so slightly. Next, I'm taking the Anastasia Artist Palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade Dusty Rose on a Makeup Geek Soft Dome brush. I'm using this shade to slightly deepen up the crease a little bit because it is more cool toned. I didn't want to take a deeper or a darker brown shade because it'll bring too much warmth to the look, and since I am using blues and purples, I wanted to keep it pretty cool. So I'm taking this exactly where I put the other shade, I'm just deepening the look. Now I'm taking Unicorn on another Makeup Geek brush. It doesn't matter what brush you use for this, I'm just going to be packing this shade on the inner half of my lid. It doesn't have to be too perfect, I just wanted to make sure that when I got it up to the crease, it wasn't blending into those brown shades that we put into the crease too much. I didn't want it to be such a sharp line, but I didn't want them to blend into each other, so I kind of just diffused that section ever so slightly. I didn't want to make it too sharp or too blended. Next, I'm going to be taking Fuchsia on the same Makeup Geek crease brush, and I'm going to be placing this on the outer half of the lid. I'm just really focusing on building up the color intensity of both of these shades on the lid. I am keeping the center pretty bare. I'm not caring so much about putting them together because we are putting a pigment on top. Next, I'm going to be taking the smallest amount of Coal, which is the black shade in the palette, and I'm putting it on that same soft dome brush that we used to build the other shades into the crease, and I'm just adding a little bit of darkness because I felt like this look just needed a little bit of black because we are using such bold, bright colors. I wanted to make the look a little bit more dramatic by adding the slightest amount of black, and I'm making sure to really blend and buff that out into the crease, and I'm trying not to take it too low onto the colors on the lid. Next, I'm taking the Inglot Pigment. This is shade 113. It is a blue-purple iridescent pigment. I'm taking a MAC flat shader brush. I forgot the number. I'll list it in the description box below. I'm wetting it with a drop of Fix Plus, and then I'm going to be packing that pigment onto the center of the lid, right over top where the two shades would have come together. And I'm putting it a little bit on the blue and a little bit on the fuchsia, just to make sure that the pigment is pulling both of those shades because it is sitting on top of those colors, if you get what I'm saying. And then I'm going back in with that blending brush for the crease and making sure that we don't have any of the pigment into the actual crease. I wanted to keep that pretty matte and black. Next, with a Zoeva winged liner brush and the black from the palette, I'm taking a folded cotton round and I'm going to be mapping out my wing. I didn't want to go straight in with the black liquid liner and mess up after I put so much work into the eyeshadow. So I'm just mapping out the wing shapes first, and then I'm going in with my NYX black liquid liner and I'm going to be filling that in. So now I'm going to be taking a break from the eyes and working on the face. I am going to be speeding through this because I do this in every single video. If you guys are interested in the products that I am using, I will link them in the description box below. Okay, so moving back to the eyes, I'm going to be taking this NYX white eyeliner and I am just drawing a double wing underneath that black. I'm going with a very steady, light hand to make sure that I don't make the line too thick. And once you want to flick it out at the end, you kind of want to lift the brush away and up. You don't want to have it lying down. It's kind of just all in the flick of your wrist. But now I'm going into this Makeup Forever palette and I'm taking this light lilac-y purple shade and I'm putting it in the inner corner as an inner corner highlight, and I'm kind of taking it up towards the brow bone a little bit because I kind of want to really open up this area and brighten it. Next, I'm just going to be curling my lashes and adding some mascara. On my bottom lashes, I'm using the Rimmel Lash Accelerator, and then on my top lashes, as always, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Telescopic. Next, I'm going to be placing on the gem. These are from Amazon and I will link them down below, but I'm just taking a little bit of lash glue. This one is by House of Lashes. It's latex free. And I am just placing 2 dots of the glue, making sure that they are even right where I'm going to be placing those gems. And then I'm taking it with a tweezer and just placing it right where that glue was placed down. And I'm kind of pushing it with the back of the tweezer to make sure that it is nice and secure. Next, for lashes, I'm using Ardell's Double Up in number 204, and these are actually my favorite lashes at the moment. I just feel like even though they are so dramatic, they are still so comfortable and they look so natural. Next, in my waterline, I'm using this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I'm not going to be putting any shadow at all on the lower lash line since this look is very top heavy. I just wanted to keep the lower lash line bare, but I'm going to be lining my lips with this nude pencil from Too Faced, and I'm going to be kind of filling them in a little bit as well. And then I'm going to be using a more cool tone nude lipstick from Gerard Cosmetics. This is in the shade Underground, I believe, but I will put the name of it for sure in the description box below. And then for some reason, I decided to go over this with a lip tart, and I just did not like the way that it looked. I used this in the shade Sebastian, and it just looked way too cool toned and gray for this look, so I wish that I skipped this step. But if you guys like it, then go ahead and try that out. But this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.